Machiavelli was a political philosopher from Florence in the 16th century who offered striking insights for well-meaning individuals struggling to make progress. His central premise is a stark and uncomfortable one. Those who act immorally often succeed. Their advantage over the virtuous lies in their willingness to employ ruthless strategies and cunning to achieve their goals, unfettered by rigid principles that advocate for change. These individuals are willing to lie, manipulate truths, threaten, and even resort to violence. When necessary, they also know how to seductively deceive, employing charm and eloquence to distract and allure. It's commonly believed that being a good person involves not just noble intentions, but also virtuous actions. Therefore, to foster a more serious world, one must engage others through substantial dialogue rather than superficial tactics. To cultivate justice, one should gently persuade the perpetrators of injustice rather than intimidate them. And to promote kindness, it's essential to show compassion even to one's adversaries, rather than be ruthless. This all sounds admirable. However, Machiavelli recognized an undeniable reality. This approach is often ineffective. Reflecting on the history of Florence and broader Italian politics, Machiavelli noted that benevolent rulers, statesmen, and merchants often faltered. This observation led him to pen The Prince, a succinct yet striking guide for well-intentioned leaders on how to avoid failure. Essentially, his advice was to be as kind-hearted as one wishes, but not to become overly committed to always acting kindly. Instead, one should be prepared to adopt the shrewd strategies used by the harshest and most unscrupulous figures throughout history. Machiavelli understood the roots of our tendency to prioritize niceness, tracing it back to the Christian narrative of Jesus of Nazareth, a symbol of kindness who ultimately became the King of Kings. Yet, Machiavelli pointed out a troubling aspect of this romanticized account. From a practical standpoint, Jesus' life was a profound failure. He faced humiliation, derision, and rejection, ultimately leading to his tragic end. The key to effectiveness lies in shedding adherence to such narratives. Contrary to popular belief, The Prince is not merely a manual for tyranny. Rather, it serves as a guide for virtuous individuals to learn from the tactics of tyrants. It emphasizes effectiveness over mere goodness, often highlighting the impotence that accompanies unwavering purity. The ideal leader, whether a prince, CEO, activist, or thinker, should extract valuable lessons from those who operate in the shadows. They must learn how to intimidate, cajole, manipulate, and captivate. In essence, the benevolent politician must acquire knowledge from their unscrupulous counterpart, just as the sincere entrepreneur can gain insights from the cunning. Ultimately, our worth is defined by what we accomplish, not by our intentions. If we aspire to embody wisdom, kindness, seriousness, and virtue, but limit our actions to these noble principles, Machiavelli warns, we may achieve little. We must be open to learning from those we may despise, for they possess crucial insights into how to attain the realities we desire, even if their actions oppose those very ideals. To effect meaningful change, we need to employ tools akin to those used by adversaries. Ultimately, effectiveness should take precedence over noble intentions. It's no longer sufficient to merely have good dreams. The true measure lies in our accomplishments. The aim is to transform the world positively, not to dwell in the comforting shadows of good intentions. Machiavelli challenges us for valid reasons, probing our self-serving tendencies. We often convince ourselves that our lack of success stems from being too virtuous and kind. Yet, Machiavelli forthrightly asserts that we remain stagnant because we neglect to learn from our fiercest opponents.